This is Leetcode 75. We're doing Koko eating bananas, and this is number 875. So Koko loves to eat bananas. There are n piles of bananas. The ith pile has um, that like that element in the ith place in the piles array bananas. The guards have gone and will come back in 8 hours. Koko decides her bananas per hour eating speed of k. So each hour she chooses some pile of bananas and eats a k bananas from that pile. If the pile has less than k bananas, she eats all of them instead and will not eat any more during this hour. Koko likes to eat slowly but wants to be able to finish eating all the bananas before the guards come. Return the minimum integer k so that she can eat all the bananas within 8 hours. So for this example here, we have 3, 6, 11, 3, 6, 7, and 11, and there's 8 hours before the guards come back, and the most optimal, or the most minimum k that we can find is 4. So the reason why for this is technically we could just grab the most maximum value within the piles array every single time and then just eat that many, but then we see that Koko likes to eat slowly and wants to eat all the bananas wants to eat all the bananas before the guards come, but wants to take their time eating. So we want to find the most minimum k, which is the bananas per hour eating speed, so that they're able to both enjoy eating the bananas and to being able to finish as quickly as possible. So what that tells us is that we said again that we have a range here between like a banana eating speed of like 1 versus the most maximum amount of bananas within the array, which could be like 11 in this case. And what we can do is we can just look through all of them, and we can see if they are like less than or equal to ours, and that means that that means that we can finish it within that time, while making sure that we are able to like eat slowly as well. So what we can do here to test that, or to make sure that the number of bananas we eat per hour can fulfill the number of hours, is we'll take the pile divided by the current like how many or our rate of eating bananas, and then we can see if that sums up to the number of hours. So you can see here like 3/4, the ceiling of that is going to be 1, and then 6/4, the ceiling of that is going to be 2. 7/4, that's also going to be 2, and then also 11/4, that's going to be 3. So that's 8. That fulfills the maximum number of hours we need, and then so we can say like that fulfills our requirement of being able to eat that many bananas within 8 hours. And technically what we can do now is we can look more left, because if we go more right, we know that the value we're going to get is not going to be the 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 most optimal one, because as you can see, like if you keep dividing it over, you're gonna be a definitely higher than you're not gonna be hitting the number of hours. So like we did like 3/5, so then 3/5 would just be 1, 6/5 would be 1, 7/5 would be 1 again, and 11/5 would be 2. 11/5 would be 2 actually. Oh wait, I think oh yeah, sorry. 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3. But then the number of bananas we eat is 5, but that would not be the minimum. So we're trying to like go be as rigorous as possible, and we're trying to find the global maxima. So what we can do here is we can utilize something called a binary search, so we get a log n search time as well. We could technically go through all the possible combinations, but having a binary search is much easier. And as we said, like if we found a local maxima, we want to make sure that we cut off that pace of the search, because we don't need to keep going in that direction. So if we start in the middle as our pivot, as our pivotal element, then that means that we know that this portion of the array, we have the most minimum value or the most minimum rate of eating bananas. So we could just keep going more left to see if we're able to still be within the number of hours of eating, but being able to minimize that k value, that rate that we need to eat at. So let's go ahead and initialize a variable here, low and high, which is going to be 1, and the maximum of the piles. And then we say that k is just going to be equal to high right now, and that's the bananas per hour eating speed. So then we can say that while low is less than high, we're going to set our mid here to be low plus high divided by 2. And then we're going to try to get the hours that it took to eat those bananas, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to say like, oh, if those hours is less than or equal to h, then we're going to say, okay, k is equal to the minimum of k or mid. And then we'll say that, okay, the search needs to go from the start of the array up to this point. So we're going to say that high is equal to mid plus 1, or low to whatever point that we're at. So high needs to be set to mid. Otherwise, we're going to set low to be equal to mid plus 1, meaning that we're not able to fulfill the hour requirement at all. So we need to move up to the point where we can. We need to move it up so that we cutting off our search. Since we know that these elements themselves, the rest of the elements will not be able to fulfill the number of hours requirement. They might go over, they might go under. So right now, and I think most of them would go over. So right now we need to figure out what hours actually is. So hours is going to be the sum of for pile and piles. So this is just us calculating like those ceiling values to determine like when we try to eat those bananas per hour, are we going to get those number of hours? Are we going to get less than or equal? We need to get less than or equal so that we can set the banana eating speed to be that value, so that we can return that minimum value. So it's going to be the sum. And to get the ceiling in Python, you can do pile plus mid minus 1 divided floor div by mid. And that allows you to do the ceiling calculation. And you just run that over all of the banana piles, and you're able to get the hours that it took you to eat all of those bananas using that rate of eating, that rate of eating that you that we've proposed. So if all goes right, we should get the right value, and that should be the solution.